Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. It is Saturday, June 15th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got WWE Clash at the Castle 2024 in Glasgow. Oh, baby, Scotland, I am ready. And it's going to be a long day today. So we're going to do Clash at the Castle here for the next 3 hours. It's going to be fantastic. 5 matches on the card. And then I'll have about an hour and a half break. And then we're going to get into the Texas Rangers versus the Seattle Mariners at 4 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be a double dip, and I am ready to go. Make sure you guys smash that like button and get settled in. Get your beer, get your snacks, get your drink. This is going to be a good one. I can't wait. And anytime we end up having these international pay-per-views, they're going to start at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. But one thing is for sure, that the crowds overseas are a billion times better than the crowds in the United States. So I'm very excited to be able to see what we're going to get here at Clash at the Castle. Let's go, baby. Had to make a nice thumb for you guys there. Let's go. And then obviously, as we know on the card, if I was going to make this particular card and I was the booker, I would start off with this match right here with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. And rumor is Chad Gable re-signed with WWE. So I would start off with this particular match to get the crowd going. Then I probably would go here with the females in the second match. Obviously, you're going to have to, you got, 2 female matches and 3 male matches. So you have to be able to pace it with the crowd. Then I more than likely would probably go here to keep the energy going. Then with Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, or you could even flip-flop with this particular match, but I'm not sure if you want to go back-to-back female matches, if you want to be able to keep the crowd going. And then at the very end of the night, Damian Priest going against Drew McIntyre. So these are the 5 matches that we have, and we'll see what format they go. But first match, second match, third match, fourth match, fifth match, or we would go set the tone right here, right out of the gates, go here with the number 2, or this one, right? And then at the end of the night, you can end with these 2 matches, but I'm not sure if they're going to go back-to-back women's matches to go for the best possible matches, the last 2 at the end of the night with Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. And then obviously ending the night with the main event with Drew McIntyre trying to get the belt in his hometown, Glasgow, Scotland, against Damian Priest. Oh, baby. I can't wait. Let's go. And make sure you guys are smashing the like button. Again, we want to try to get to 30 to 50 likes. We've been definitely pacing very, very well in the last couple weeks. And again, like, sub, donate, comment, share. And I appreciate all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. I'm ready. It's on Peacock. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Daniel in the building. What's good? Sarah in the building. What's good? They're gonna get hyped up. I mean, all they got to do is hear the initial theme music, and they'll be starting to sing and chant. And if you guys ended up watching any of the pre-show, not the stuff that's on now, but the pre-show where they had kind of their introduction with Michael Cole and Triple H, this crowd was singing word for word Triple H's theme song. Every single wrestler that came out, they were singing word for word, just like we saw in France. So I feel that as soon as that music hits, it's going to be electric. I did get a message from Lenny D. He's got errands to run, so he'll be with us in spirit. He'll be watching the replay, and hopefully he'll be able to be back next month when we end up having another WWE pay-per-view. But I am ready. And again, I would start the pay-per-view off with this match, because you're not going to obviously start it with this, you would think, or with this, but I don't know. I don't really know what direction they're going to go. But if I had to guess, you're going to start it here. Obviously, if Cody Rhodes wasn't like the main face of WWE, you could start off the pay-per-view with this, and get the crowd going, but it's almost like too good of a match to start off. So if I had to put money on it, I would put money on this one being the first match right out of the gates. Then they can figure out what they want to do with the female matches, if they want to go back-to-back, or if they want to sprinkle in Cody Rhodes for the third match with AJ Styles. But this is going to be the main event 100%. And obviously Drew McIntyre in front of his home fans in Glasgow. So we'll see if we go here or if we go here for the very first match I'm very excited to see. They got the camera pan on Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, so maybe they're going to start it off with this match right out of the gates, which would be a little interesting because considering how big Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles are, you definitely want to have the best matches are usually the last match and the first match. So it would make sense if they decided to go this particular route. I just figured that they would probably go with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. So if they go this particular route, then they're going to maybe go, this is the first match, then maybe go here, obviously with the females. And usually the second match of the night is usually the worst. And typically based off the framing of WWE matches, then you can end up going maybe here to get the crowd back into it, then going here, obviously with Bayley, and then finishing it off with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. So we'll see where it goes, but definitely you're going to be going with either this match or this match to start off the pay-per-view. So we'll see where it goes, but I'm definitely very excited. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Reefer in the building. What's good? Yeah, well, they just showed them, obviously, they're walking out. So, you know, if they already are in their in-ring gear, unless that was a pre-recorded video, then we're probably going right here, you know, to start off the pay-per-view, which would be good. Then you can go here, you know, and then the crowd will, you know, try to get settled in, bring the crowd back, obviously, with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable, you know, and then, you know, going here with, obviously, Bayley and Piper Niven, and then finishing off the pay-per-view on a high note with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. So, I like the format. Again, as long as they started off here or here, that's going to get the crowd going. Everybody loves Sami Zayn's theme song, and we already know once those guys come out, they're going to put on an electric show. So let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, baby. Let's go. And let's get to 100 in donos. Your boy's got a lot of bills to pay. Let's go. I'm doing well. How are you? He said, word on the street, AJ and Cody. That would make sense. You know, as I was just, you know, trying to look and trying to portray where we would probably go with the card. But, you know, being so big, you know, Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, for them to be the opening match, I guess that would get the crowd, you know, pumped up. And again, you already know Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest is the last match. Then I guess it just depends on, you know, with Chad Gable and Sami Zayn. Here we go. And if you guys have a Twitter/X account, do your boy a solid and like and retweet the live stream. Sarah has done it already. If we could get a couple other individuals in the room to do that for us as well, it'd be greatly appreciated. Let's go. And I had to wake up extra early today to take Paisley on a walk. We had a little bit of rain here in Oregon, so me and Paisley got a little soaked. Not too bad. But again, sometimes you got to be able to sacrifice a little bit of sleep. And you got to sacrifice a little bit of your schedule, especially when all of the WWE pay-per-views, it seems like, are international this year. I have never seen this many international pay-per-views at this point. You know, it seems like, you know what, every single one almost has been out of the country. So you're going to get early starts. And if you live on the West Coast, I'm going to have to wake up earlier than the rest of y'all. You guys, you know, end up being, you know, at like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. But, you know, for us here, it'll be 11. And then if it ends up being any earlier, sometimes it'll be an 8, 9, or 10 a.m. start, which I'm not bitching or complaining about. I mean, if WWE is on, I'm watching. It is the must-see TV thing, you know, obviously in the wrestling community. AEW has scaled back. NJPW, Impact, TNA, all of them have scaled back. And this is going to be must-see TV, and I am really happy that you guys are joining me here today. Let's go. Let's go. And a quick breakdown of the 5 matches that we got. Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles. Obviously, the group, you know, we would assume that Bianca and Jade Cargill will retain, even though they don't have to necessarily pin to win. Then get the tone set back and get the crowd going with Chad Gable, supposedly re-signing with WWE, which most people thought that he would. Going against Sami Zayn should be fucking electric. Might be a sleeper match on the card, considering these big names. And then these big names going for the belt. Then you got, obviously, Bayley and Piper Niven. I would rather see Bayley fight someone else than this. But, again, I understand why they're going this particular route. And then finishing off the pay-per-view on a very high note. And hopefully we get Drew McIntyre with a win. No disrespect to Damian Priest. But, again, for Drew McIntyre, to have the belt during COVID and have no one cheer for him. You want to make sure that these wrestlers have their moment at least once or twice in their lifetime, before they retire. And, for Drew McIntyre to hold it down in COVID was great, but he had no fans cheering for him. And what a better way to do him a solid, regardless if he has the belt for a day or once to a year, however long they decide to give it to him, it would be fitting to do it in his hometown in Glasgow, Scotland. Let's go. Here we go, starting off the pay-per-view on a high note. The phenomenal one, AJ Styles, making his way to the ring versus Cody Rhodes. Let's go. Yeah, it's not like I don't like Piper, as a wrestler, but as far as like a pay-per-view card, I don't know. Like with Bayley even being champ, there, you got Charlotte Flair, and you look at some of the names with a Bianca Belair and people that have kind of held the belt. And I'm not saying that, Bayley is a bad like champion, because at every point, you're going to have to switch off from the top tier wrestlers, and then you're going to have to go to the second tier wrestlers, and they're going to have their moments, right? But you just would want to make sure the matchups, are going to be good. And when you look at that matchup on paper, it has a feeling that it could end up being the worst match of the night. It's like, how are the styles of wrestling going to contrast with Piper Niven and the way that she wrestles and the way that Bayley wrestles? So unless there's like a gimmick involved with like weapons or something like that, it might end up underwhelming. I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but as I just look at the card, that one is kind of glaring that one's going to be the worst match of the night. And then the other female match, obviously, you got the 3 tag teams there. There's going to be a lot of double team moves. So you would assume on that side with the females, that one will be more entertaining. And then obviously the 3 matches that should be able to showcase the pay-per-view are going to be here, here, and here. So we'll see where it goes. But this is like, one of the pay-per-views where you don't really have a lot of the elite top tier women, performing besides Bianca and Jade as a tag team. If you're really being real about it, considering all the top tier ladies that we've had, but hopefully they end up putting on a show. I mean, there's a lot of pressure to be able to perform on a high level. And again, this should be amazing. Let's go. All right, here we go. Cody Rhodes. All right, I got to turn this up. Hopefully I don't blow my speakers out. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, no pyro. Weird. And the crowd is a little bit like quieter than I expected. They got to get on that France level. They got to get on that international level, and they better turn it up because they're not as loud. Maybe they're saving it for Piper and they're saving it for Drew, but again, they need to be much, much louder. And again, they're making money and they're going international, but there is a standard that is to be set. Cody Rhodes signing autographs going into the ring. How cool is that? How often do you see wrestlers do something like that? And Cody is one of those guys. He's the super face, because not only does he give away the weight belt, to kids and fans in the front row, but now obviously being champ, sometimes he's not going to wear that weight belt over the championship belt. But to sign autographs going in, can you imagine being in the front row and being a little kid and Cody Rhodes ends up signing your belt or whatever, your shirt or your hat as you're going to the ring? How cool is that? Awesome, man. Yeah, they're definitely not on that France level. Not even close. And no pyro either. It's like, I don't know if they have any rules on that or what's going on, but they definitely should have pyro for Cody. I mean, just because he's not the main event match. I mean, he's the world champ. You got to act like, again, you want to make sure that you're taking care of your guys in the company and you're promoting them to the fullest like they did with Roman, right? Zayn, the building. What's good? And we'll see if the crowd will be able to chant There we go. Cody's trying to get the crowd going. So these 11,000 people asleep. Maybe they drank too much last night and they're all hungover or something, which is possible. They like to drink over there. So I don't know what's going on, but they're definitely much quieter than anticipated, but it's still going to be a good pay-per-view. I think we got spoiled with that France crowd, them just being all in sync. There we go. A little bit better. There we go. They got to wake up a little bit. I know, they've been probably drinking really heavy, And obviously when you drink heavy and you have a hangover, as you guys know, loud noises, bright lights, not a fan, But you got to think these guys aren't going to be there all the time. So bring that energy. You want them to come back, right? You got to bring that energy and bring that heat. They can make money anywhere internationally. Here we go. Let's go. Yes, she is. A lot of people wondering if she's going to leave with Ricochet to AEW, but I don't know what her contract status is. They're waking up now. I hear them. They're starting now. Let's go. I doubt she's leaving either. She's too valuable. It's like you got pieces like Pat McAfee with Michael Cole, and Samantha Irvin is fantastic. Very passionate, and she cares, and that's what you want. You want people that actually genuinely care. Here we go. Crowd is waking up a little bit more. Oh, thank you so much, man. Reefer, you have no idea, man. Like, I've been grinding every single day, and we've been very light on the Cash App and the Venmo. And honestly, you've been the one that's holding it down on that end. So that way I've been able to take care of Paisley and pay bills. For the other people that are donating on the Super Chat, it's fantastic. And I really, really appreciate it. But I don't get that until next month. So when you have bills that are due now, it really, really definitely helps. So thank you so much. I got something that needs to be paid that obviously should have been probably paid yesterday. And thank you so much, Reefer. You have no idea how much this means to me. Let's go, baby. Reefer, want to make sure that I can get my bills paid with a hundo. Let's go. We hit our goal. Let's try to get to our secondary goal. Appreciate you very much, man. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you, my guy. Because, again, I've been grinding every single day to try to get Cash App and Venmo donos, and it's been very, very light. We've been getting Super Chat donos, and we've been doing good there. But, again, when you got bills to be paid immediately, it makes you worry. I was thinking, man, if I don't get enough today, I might have to borrow money from, like, family or friends to get this bill paid. And, I don't mind asking, but it's just, I'd rather be able to work hard and hopefully be able to just get it done on my own. So thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. STL in the building. What's good? Ooh, big chop by AJ Styles. We're in Glasgow, Scotland, baby. This is must-see TV. Cody into the turnbuckle. And these are two, of the more popular, fun wrestlers to watch. Let's be honest. This is like, if you go back years ago, it's almost like a dream matchup when Cody was in AEW. And now you get to see they made Cody Rhodes the wrestler that they should have made him once he left AEW and went to WWE. They could have buried him in mid-card hell, right? But they didn't. Yeah, baby, bionic elbow, Dusty Dream. Let's go. But it's just nice to see that they capitalized off his popularity and his family name and did him right and didn't do him dirty. Oh, big kick to AJ. And I know a lot of people were kind of bitching and moaning about Ricochet, not getting enough time in a moment. But again, if you're not very good on the microphone, being good in the ring is only going to get you so far. And again, did they drop the ball on Ricochet? Not really. Again, if he was a better talker on the mic with that amazing, 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10 athleticism, in the ring and on the top rope, there's no denying that, guys like that are amazing. Ricochet, right? But again, if you can't talk on the mic and carry a vibe with the crowd, you're only going to go so far in this business. And it shows you anybody can wrestle. You can be one of the most, amazing athletes, just like Neville, was in WWE as well. But again, like the bastard Pac, if you cannot talk on the microphone and you can't connect with the crowd and you're not good at shit talking, you are only going to go so far. Your athleticism is fantastic, but again, you got to be able to be the total package. Lex Luger, baby. All right, here we go. Cody Rhodes and AJ. Let's go. Reefer, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, dude. You have no idea, man. Like I said, taking care of Paisley is expensive. And, just being able to make sure I have like my cell phone, the internet bill to be paid to continue to do the dream, just the basic stuff. I don't need to be rich. I just need to get my bills paid and then be able to keep grinding away. So thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Cody, there we go. We got tables, baby. Let's go. Thank you so much, man. Hell yeah, they're in the crowd. I love this. Give the Scotland, Glasgow crowd that energy and that excitement, because you probably think that with the Chad Gable, Sami Zayn, they're not going into the crowd in their match more than, beer to the face. Hell yeah. So yeah, great decision to start it off with this match in the pay-per-view. Love it. You got to set the tone early and then keep that energy going. And then if they end up going with the, Bailey, Piper Nevin, or if they go with the female match next, it'll be a little bit of a, it'll scale down a little bit energy-wise, you know what I mean? But not so much where people are disinterested. But I would assume that we're going to be going with the tag team match next after this match, based off flow of wrestling pay-per-view hierarchy and just the way that they typically do it. Dude, they're going all backstage. This is awesome. It's like reminding me of like WWF In Your House and like some of the old school pay-per-views, Rock and Stone Cold and a lot of those epic matches that we used to see back in the day. And also it reminds me a little bit of like the video games, if you end up playing like the WWE video games or like No Mercy, like on the 64 WrestleMania 2000, where they would have all of these, props and areas that you could wrestle. Very cool. You're not going to see this that often. So a couple times a year. Very, very cool. Zay, appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. Zay is repping. Thank you so much, man. Crowd getting loud now. Yes, sir. Zay coming through. Appreciate you. Nyland Saints in the building. $25 dono to help make sure I can pay some bills and keep grinding away at this grind that is my life. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Appreciate you. Nyland Saints in the building. And then once we end up getting done with the matches and there's like an intermission, obviously we can see what Reefer and Zay want. And it doesn't have to be wrestling related. It can be football related, baseball, basketball, hockey, old school wrestling photo, new school wrestling photo, whatever you guys want, and I'll take care of you guys. Thank you so much. We're at 125. Let's get to 200. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Oh, yeah, figure 4, baby. Let's go. And it means a lot, too, for people like Reefer and obviously with Zay being like a Saints fan, because, again, I got more Saints fans that rep me and Falcons fans and Panther fans than Bucks fans. I don't know. Bucks fans don't fucking exist on YouTube. I don't know what it is with them in Tampa, if they just watch the games with themselves, but there's not a lot of Tampa, representation on social media. So it's very cool that, I keep it 100 and there's no bias. And I actually would, like to have more fans of the quote unquote enemy than have fans of the team that I represent, at least on the NFL side, since the Tampa fans don't really support at any given point whatsoever. Like, I don't know where the hell they are. They're at the stadium, they're at the game, they're at their house, but there's not a whole lot of representation on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube, unfortunately. But to be able to have like one of my biggest fan bases be the Saints fans, who are known to be a little ruthless, like Eagle fans as well, they'll talk shit with the best of them. But again, I think just being able to understand each other and to call a spade and to be able to be real with things, and have appreciation for greatness no matter where it's at. And that's the difference. And I really do appreciate you guys. Oh, shit. Whoa. That could have been bad with the necks going over there, and you could hyperextend, the muscles there in the neck and that shoulder area. Whoa. Wow. Hell yeah. Yeah, baby. On the table. I got to turn a fan on. I'm already sweating in here. With excitement. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Peacock, Glasgow, Scotland. Let's go. AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. Let's go. Oh, Brainbuster. Hell yeah. What am I watching? Taka Michinoku? Let's go. Hell yeah. Oh, baby. He barely got him over there also. I kind of felt for those guys' necks right there. Jesus. And then again, after the stream ends, around 2 o'clock, I'll get about an hour and a half break. And then we're going to end up doing the Rangers and the Mariners game number 2 in the set at 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock here tonight. No stream tomorrow for Father's Day. I'm going to go bring Paisley up to visit my dad and my dad's pup, Lucas. We're going to watch Dodgers and Mariners, obviously up there, and enjoy a barbecue. Hot dogs, hamburgers, ribs. I'm super excited because I'm on a diet, and I haven't been able to really eat food like that in a long time. Yeah. AJ talking shit with Cody's mom. Let's go. She said, yeah, asshole. Keep talking, asshole. Let's go. Mama Rhodes. Oh, Cody's busted open. Dude, this is sweet. Good decision to start off the pay-per-view with this match. Obviously with the title implications and whatnot. But I've always wanted these two guys to wrestle on a big time scene. And again, when Cody went over to AEW, I didn't really think this match was ever going to happen. AJ's getting up there in age as well. Let's be honest and real about it. AJ doesn't have too much time left. It feels like, him and Randy Orton might be kind of on the way out, depending on, if they want to spend time with their families, and, we already know what their legacies are all about, but we have to really appreciate AJ Styles and Randy Orton for what they've been able to bring to this business. And I love this opening match so far here with AJ and Cody. Let's go. There's blood, baby. It's a bloodbath. Shout out to Reefer and Zay holding it down. Who dat? Here we go. AJ picks up Cody Rhodes. Oh! Clean neck breaker there. Let's go. Because I always have these kind of dream match scenarios in my head, especially going back from the old school era in ECW, the WCW era, the WWF Attitude era, and then obviously with the legends and the GOATs in this particular era that we have in WWE. Pretty much, if you really look at AEW, NJPW, TNA, Impact, they're not anywhere. You could combine all those other federations that are not even close to what WWE is bringing. And it's nice to be able to see WWE back on top, but also as a wrestling fan in general, I would like to see those other federations kind of step up, but you have to have the talent, the matches, and the bookers to make it happen. And AEW's top guys are all injured for the most part. So if you don't have your main guys out there with like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and, Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson and Moxley and all the others wrestling every single day, you're not going to be able to keep up with this powerhouse that's called WWE. They were the top dog during COVID, AEW, but I don't think they're ever going to be top dog ever again in this Triple H era. And that's saying something, because I like AEW a lot, but do I watch it like I used to? No. I wish I did, but it's just not interesting to me anymore. they don't have enough guys on the card, wrestling on Dynamite and Rampage and all the other, things that they got going on for me to pay attention now. Will I watch? Yes, but I'm not going to pay attention like I pay attention to WWE now. So the fuck you AJ chant, huh? And AJ and Cody can make great heels or faces, and again, that's what the best do, like Seth Rollins. The best wrestlers can be good heel or face. Oh! But again, it all depends on, the talking ability on the microphone. And again, the better shit talker you are and the more that you vibe with the crowd, if you're a heel, you're going to be a super heel. Like anyone can be a face, but to be able to take your career to the next level, like look at Bayley, with the hug it out to where she is now. Anytime you transition from face to heel, when you start off as a face, you'll elevate your career on the heights never imagined. Hell yeah. You sound like me back in the backyard, back in the day when I had my backyard wrestling federation. That's awesome. Hey. Oh. Ooh, AJ. Woo. AJ looking like Oscar out there. Oh, nice. Very clean. I think the hug life with Bayley, though, it kind of, she did it long enough where there needed to be a change in the persona. You know what I mean? I sometimes miss it too. But again, for her to elevate her career, the hug it out type of thing, you already know how it is nowadays with kids and with people in this younger generation. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to be kind of that shit talker and that kind of evil wrestler, and you got to be a heel, And again, if you're going to be a face, you have to be able to be portrayed like a Cody Rhodes, where you can be loved. You can be beloved. You have a history, third generational wrestler, either second or third. And, again, when you have those type of, build up in matches and you have, obviously people like, Gold Dust, brother, right? And then you have, Dusty Rhodes, dad, and obviously coming back to try to, do it for dad and whatnot. It's a meaningful story that a lot of us, are old enough that we watched Dusty Rhodes when we were young. And we watched Gold Dust in the prime, so it's very cool to be able to see like the lineage passed down, as well as with Randy Orton and Cowboy Bob Orton, third generation. It's like, these wrestlers nowadays, it's not just, hey, I'm going to come up and be a wrestler. A lot of it is passed down from generation to generation, and I love it. AJ coming in here with the chair. They want tables. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. We already know, we've seen what happens when someone's heads get stuck in a chair like that. Got to put your fingers underneath right there to make sure you actually don't really choke yourself and hurt yourself there. He's like, quit? No. Cody is a danger to himself at this point. There's nothing the referee can do to prevent any of this. Yeah, Gable as a heel, that's another guy, a great guy on the microphone, but never been taken seriously, right? And then you go heel and you start talking shit, and then you realize how good of a person he is on the mic. And then if he ends up getting an opportunity to get a belt, I think that would elevate his career, just like Sami Zayn got his career elevated by the bloodline. Sometimes you just need to have your moment. And when you have so many guys in mid-card hell, right, that they don't get the recognition they deserve, and they finally get put on the spotlight, and then you realize, wow, Sami Zayn actually is a lot better than people gave him credit for. Chad Gable is a lot better than people gave him credit for, but it's all depends on the bookers and the storyline, and it depends on if you're a face or a heel. And for the longest time, Sami Zayn and Chad Gable were just the lovable faces. But at some point, if you go asshole and you go heel, you can really see what that wrestler is all about. And typically that's when the wrestler elevates their career and has their moment. So we'll see what happens, later today. But again, Chad Gable has never been looked at the same way in his career until recently. And I love that. Go heel, be an asshole, talk shit on the mic, show your skill set. We already know you guys are great in the ring. Let's see it on the microphone. Hell no. Let's go. Great opening match here for AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. Not as good as the France crowd, though. That France crowd had 11,000 chanting and singing the whole time. I imagine a lot of these fans are hungover. Not all of them, but I imagine there's a good chunk. But not all fans are created equal, as we know. It's like that France crowd was the best crowd I've ever seen. And I've probably seen 1,000 to 2,000 different shows, hundreds of different pay-per-views over my lifetime. And I have never, ever seen a crowd that engaged, singing, chanting the whole 3 hours like we had in France. And again, I think that we got spoiled because unless we see that same type of energy, it's going to be a little bit of a letdown, based off crowd interaction. That's the new standard. The "you fucked up" chant, trying to get that belt on his forehead. His forehead is sweaty. What do you expect? He's got blood and sweat there. And I love the camera angles and everything that they've been able to do, with WWE since the Triple H regime has taken over. Like everything that we ever dreamed of as WWE fans is finally coming true. Vince is not involved, right? You got better camera angles, better booking, better storyline. It's about damn time for us hardcore fans that have been watching since the 80s. Yeah, might have been fake blood. I don't know. He might have had some kind of like blood ketchup packet. I mean, obviously they used to blade themselves, back in the day, but I know they started to kind of outlaw that practice. Because obviously when the blood goes, it doesn't stop. We've seen Ric Flair and a lot of these other guys where the ring gets soaked with blood and it keeps going and going and going. So I think you may be right. That might have been a little like a fake blood packet. It might be a little bit of blood real mixed in with the fake because obviously it has stopped. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Love you. Appreciate you. Shout out to Reefer and Zay for holding it down. What is this? Uh-oh, thumbtacks? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, we got thumbtacks? Oh, shit. Oh. Okay. I thought thumbtacks, but I didn't think that these guys were that hardcore. They're not Mick Foley. These guys are hardcore, but they're not hardcore Mick Foley style. Because I was about to say, if you were going to do the thumbtacks, respect. That would be something I would not expect out of these two wrestlers. That's a lot of pain, People don't realize a thumbtack's going into your body, how bad that would hurt. Destiny in the building. What's good? Oh. There we go. We got to make sure that the thing looks, believable, not like in NXT Battleground when they had that Shayna Baszler match with all the fake punches, in that type. We want to make sure that you're showing the physicality. Obviously, having that kind of style of match, they can't really do closed fist and have it UFC. But, we've seen a lot of people with the kendo stick, like barely touch them. Let's make it a little bit more believable there. And nice job by AJ Styles with doing that. Oh, here we go. Mama Rhodes. You want to talk shit? She said, keep talking, asshole. This reminds me of the old lady and Hulk Hogan back in the day in WCW and the NWO. Three slaps by Mama Rhodes. Interesting. That would be the most insane thing ever. If like Mama Rhodes is like, yeah, I'll take a fucking chair shot to the head for the crowd and for Cody's legacy. Could you imagine how awesome that would be? Because the old lady and Hollywood Hogan back in the day, she got all up in his face, back in the day, but there was no physical touching there. Nice to be able to see where wrestling is going, with everyone participating and being a good sport about it, But if you really wanted to have the crowd just go fucking bananas, could you imagine if if it was like, like the father figure, if it was like Dusty and he was still alive, right? He would definitely take the chair shot, but obviously if you have an elderly lady, Mama Rhodes taking a chair shot, probably not likely, but. Oh, oh my God. RVD like chair to the head, falling back into the table. That was awesome. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, this match is already an 11 out of 10, and we're 40 minutes into the pay-per-view, but this one, it was perfect to start off with. I didn't know that it was going to go to this extent. That's why I thought maybe they would go with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable for the energy to the crowd. But if they had this plan like this to set the tone, to that way that to get everyone engaged, great job. Another reason why, Triple H is doing the business that they're doing right now. There we go. This is awesome. Damn right it is. Makes it worthwhile when you got to wake up early for these international pay-per-views instead of being on at 5 p.m. Pacific. We got them early on, and they're making it worthwhile for us as fans. Awesome.
Styles with a chain from the handcuff. It appears as though the American Nightmare is free. What a momentum change.
These guys are drained already. Especially if you're going like full board and you have that intensity and that adrenaline running, but if you are going like full speed, Cody Cutter. But at some point, you need the crowd to get juiced up to give you that next burst of adrenaline, and you got to hulk up, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Now I got AJ bleeding. Yes, sir. Crossroads again. Let's go. Do it again, man. You can't. Crossroads is a 3-time thing. At one point, I'd love to see Cody do it like fucking 10 times and just go off. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Just keep going. Just like with like a giant swing. When you just think it's going to end and it doesn't, and it keeps going and going and going like Cesaro. Here we go on the chair. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Crossroads on the chair this time. Number 3. And a lot of the places that are international try to mix in kind of like the soccer chants, with the wrestling chants. And it makes sense, to bring that energy and that fire. It's all about being in unison and together. Here we go. Handcuffs on AJ this time. God, they are really going all out in this match. I mean, they could have ended this match already, during the Crossroads, even 5 minutes before the Crossroads. And I love it. They're really putting on a show here on this first match. It's like, what are we having? A 30-minute to an hour first match? Unbelievable. Nice chair shot. Yeah, baby, to the back. Ooh, chest shot. Ooh, that was pretty stiff. Let's go. I love it. I think they heard us. Yes. I mean, like I said, it's one thing to do Crossroads a couple times or chair shots once or twice. Fuck all that. 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, especially with this type of match, the I Quit match. I don't see him saying I quit either. God, we are spoiled right now. Like, again, you know, I feel bad for the people that aren't watching this live. They are going to be in for a treat, like Lenny D. Once he does his family errands and then he ends up watching this, he's going to be his mind blown. I was telling my buddies, like, wake up early and watch this. Trust me, it's going to be worth your time. Here we go. Bring in the steps. Not reinforced steel, you know, maybe a little hard plastic metal, but still, it's not going to feel good if you get hit by it. Doesn't weigh as much as it looks, but still going to hurt if you get hit by it, for real. Wow. It would have been nice to be able to have him get, he just would have thrown it at him right there, and then the match could have ended as well. Crazy. I don't know if I would have expected that particular ending, right? But I'll take it. You know, sometimes you need to be surprised in WWE. And for the longest time in the Vince McMahon era, you know, it was always predictable endings, right? Runners, you know, coming in late and you know, interfering in the match, right? There we go. I was saying he's got to hit him with it. But to be able to end the match with like unpredictable style, you know, I love this, man. This Triple H era is just fucking phenomenal. Let's go. Great match. Great fucking match, man. Scale out of 1 out of 10 of fucking 20. I mean, we're already 46 minutes in, so that was like a 30, 40-minute match. So, again, at some point, you know, he could have hit him in the head and then, you know, I quit or whatnot. But, you know, just to do it at that point, brilliant storytelling, man. Unpredictability in WWE is back. Cody's better as a heel, just like Seth Rollins. You know, they play the face role so perfectly. You know what I mean? But once you turn them into a heel, it takes like their wrestling ability to a whole nother level. What a chair shot by Cody there to AJ, like RVD. Brilliant storytelling with wrestling moves in that opening match, man. Brilliantly done, man. A little crossroads on the chair. Love it. Anything, Reefer or Zay, that you guys want to see? Wrestling or sport related or whatever you guys want. It could be your favorite wrestler now. It could be your favorite wrestler from back in the day. But if you guys want anything photo-wise, just holler. If you don't care about the photos, that's fine as well. You know, but again, I don't mind being able to throw a few things up so that way we can get to know you guys a little bit better based on your favorites from back in the day or currently. Awesome. What would you guys rate that first match? 10 out of 10? I mean, if there was any number above it, like 11 out of 10, I think that's all of us where we were at. I don't know if you can. It's almost disrespectful to call that match a 9, you know, and obviously a 9 is very, very good. But that was as perfect to a match that you could have to open up a pay-per-view. Now, the one thing that could have been better is the crowd, but we kind of, you know, I think we got spoiled by that France crowd. But overall, it's not like the crowd was quiet. But again, on a scale of 1 to 10, that crowd was like a 7.5, you know, 8, you know, compared to the France crowd that was like a billion. So let's go, baby. Solo in the building. Tonga. Beat down. Yeah, baby. Randy, let's go. There we go. Get him some help. Kevin Owens as well. Love me some KO. Love me some Randy Orton. I mean, we are just blessed to be able to be alive and breathing while these guys are, wrestling in this particular era. And I grew up in the 80s, so I got to see the Hulkamania era. I got to see, in the 90s with DX and NWO and ECW with RVD and Sabu. And it's just nice to be able to see where we're at in wrestling today. Okay. Three of my favorites right here all together. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. Love it. Legends, man. Let's go. Well, that one really set the tone for the pay-per-view, man. I got a little goosebumps on my arm right now. Man, that was awesome. 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10, 100 out of 10. Let's go. Next match, where are we going? Are we going here? I would assume based off flow of the matches, it will go here. And then this would be the match to get the energy back up. And then obviously Piper being obviously from Scotland as well, going here and then finishing off the pay-per-view here. But I don't know. We'll see what Triple H is thinking, because they've gone it a couple different ways. They've gone it where the last match and the first match are the two best matches, right? But they also have gone where the first three matches, they kind of go based on, vibe. And then they didn't go with the second match as the worst match of the night. So it'll be very interesting to see the dynamic tonight. But if I had to guess, we would probably be going here or going here. That's what I would assume. That's where we would go. But my gut tells me the flow would probably go here. But we'll see. Yeah, tag team triple threat is what I'm thinking. That seems like the natural progression of the pay-per-view based on how they would do it in the past. So we'll see if we end up going here.
$1 billion drink prize.
Man, what an electric start to this pay-per-view. Anything photo-wise you guys want to be able to see? Reefer, Zay, you got any favorites from back in the day? Anything that you guys want to see while we're just killing time? Man, I am so happy I woke up extra early today. I would have been really pissed off if I would have just, slept in and just watched it with Paisley and not watched it with you guys. Especially after that first match. I would have been like, what the hell did I do? But again, I ended up going to sleep pretty early. Ended up watching quite a few episodes of Sons of Anarchy, and I'm almost done. I started it from season 1, episode 1, and now I'm on season 6. And I think I'm on like episode 4 or 5. So I got like a season and a half left. And amazing, man. I had a bunch of friends tell me how amazing it was. And I ended up watching Mayans MC when it was on TV on FX. And I watched a couple episodes of Sons of Anarchy back in the day, but I didn't keep up with it. And watching it from the very beginning and like binge watching it, fucking incredible. Some Dolph Ziggler, nice. I love me some Dolph. Very underrated. I actually bought Dolph Ziggler's t-shirt back in the day. Now I don't have it anymore because I wore it so much it got ripped to shreds. But yes, good choice. All right, let's do some Dolph. Is Dolph one of your favorites from back in the day? Another guy that, had his moment early in his career, and they treated him kind of like shit after. They definitely did not appreciate that, what type of worker he was, the type of wrestler where, selling moves, one of the best in the business, and just kind of sad that we never really got to see another push for Dolph later in his career. Definitely deserved another Intercontinental Championship run or a World Championship run. But again, so many wrestlers, not enough belts. I always was a fan of Dolph. Hell, I even have a Dolph Ziggler WWE Elite figures when he first came out. I still got one. And I'm not going to buy a figure of a wrestler in my collection if I don't think that he's one of the ones that I really enjoy. So. Dolph definitely could have been one of those guys that wrestled in the NWO era or the DX era. Like I could definitely picture him like in NWO, you know, or like a faction back in the day. Good talker, you know, good in the ring skill set, very underrated. One of the best sellers, you know, to make the other wrestlers look good, you know, never appreciated. You know, even when he ended up having his time and his run, I don't think fans really appreciated him. They kind of treated him like shit, you know, took him for granted. You know, you could argue he might be the wrestler that had the most talent on the mic and in the ring that got you know, mistreated and didn't get the full love and appreciation from the fan base. And once they realized it was too late, you know, and he never got another run after that. Tell him, Triple H.
Experience the very best WrestleMania 41 has to offer with an official WWE priority pass from On Location. Place your deposit today to secure premium seating, free show hospitality, interaction with your favorite WWE.
Hell yeah.
And so much more. Head to On Location.
Shut up. You did? Oh, I'm jealous, dude. That is awesome. Okay, we were right.
Right now, we'll take an inside look at the tag team from here in Scotland.
All right, so it looks like our predictions were correct. This would be the kind of natural form to go this route. I'm jealous, man. That's awesome. Let the witches in. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great choice. I thought you'd never ask. Let's go. All right, here we go. Coming to the ring, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Oh, baby. Drew Brees, goated. I'll give you one of my favorite all-time photos of that particular Super Bowl. This one right here. This is one of my favorite ones. Obviously, they made this into like a little graphic. But there we go. Drew, baby. Appreciate you. We'll see what other photos that we can sprinkle up. Obviously, there's some on there, but those are going to be the best ones. He said yummy. Yeah, I don't think I will either. I don't see myself ever, you know, getting to a point like that. You know, I got me, Paisley Pup, and, you know, if that's the way that it's going to be for me, for my life, you know, I don't blame you. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark coming out next. And then once we get done with this match, I'll see what other Dolph Ziggler and Saint Super Bowl photos that I can kind of come up with. Appreciate you guys very much. Hope you enjoyed those.
We're pretty much the same person. Let's team up. On the right, anyone who dares step in the ring with us. And Clash at the Castle is brought to you in part by Call of Duty.
Epic era back then. Best short quarterback of all time. We saw Russell Wilson do his thing with Seattle for a few years, but no one has that same type of intangible leadership than Drew Brees on offense with the pregame speeches and Ray Lewis on defense for the Baltimore Ravens. There has never been more, amazing leadership and guys that can get you to run through a wall than Drew Brees and Ray Lewis. And there's a reason why those guys are champions. I mean, hell, I'm not even a fan necessarily of the Saints or the Ravens, but listening to those guys, they would want me to run through a wall for them, and I would. All right, here we go. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Who dat? You know who they have dropped the ball on in WWE? Montez Ford. If they ended up having them, link up with Bianca to have a faction, they were or something of that nature, but have Montez Ford go singles and actually be like Intercontinental champ, they definitely dropped the ball on him because he can talk on the mic, and obviously he's got a good, in-ring skill set. I feel at some point they better not, keep like looking past him because then the window is going to close. But out of a lot of the wrestlers that have been looked over, you definitely got to put Montez Ford in the top three, where it's kind of mind-boggling that they don't recognize. And I get it; they want to make sure they have that tag team and whatnot. But at some point, they got to be able to keep the tag team, but have Montez do singles. They're in shape just a little bit, don't you think? A physical specimen, both with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. And you already know at some point they are going to be feuding, and then they'll, obviously lose the belts. Then they'll go one-on-one, and then they'll battle it out. That's how it always works out when you end up having a tag team. You'll end up turning on the partner, and Jade will turn on Bianca, and then they'll end up losing the belts, and then they'll have their little rivalry, have maybe a couple matches and whatnot. But for the time being now, here we go. Yes. Nice forearm smashes there by Bianca. And hopefully the crowd will be engaged here, and they're not going to be quiet for the female matches. Hopefully they bring that, same elevated energy. And I don't expect it to be same as AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes, let's be honest. But don't be just sitting there with your hands, sitting on your hands and just quiet. There we go. 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh, nice backflip by Bianca. There we go. Bianca and Montez are so fucking athletic. Like the most athletic power couple that we've seen in wrestling. Wow. EST. Baszler. And obviously Bianca's pretty much been a face her whole career, but for her to get elevated, to the top to be like world champ, at some point she's going to have to go heel. Even though Jade Cargill is going to come off as probably the person that turns on her to go heel. But I would like to see Bianca go heel at some point, Here's Jade Cargill. And Jade was really raw, and we already know that she's got all the physical attributes, but we don't want to see like a Ronda Rousey type of situation where you have this like hype coming in, and then you're just, kind of, disorganized and you're very like robotic out there. And I know Jade has been working very hard to try to be able to get on that, Bianca level. You're never going to be able to be doing those like backflips and whatnot, right? But again, you can use your physicality. Just don't be so robotic with the moves. Show your physical strength, but You know, have some athleticism out there. You know, take some time to be smooth out there.
This is outrageous core strength from Jade Cargill right now. Oh, it's powering out of it. And Cargill.
I like the war paint for Jade on here as well. Good decision for her to leave AEW to come to WWE to elevate her career. And again, her and Bianca are around the same size and around the same build. So we even predicted this, you know, before when Jade was in AEW. I said they're going to pair her up with Bianca, and they did. So again, sometimes the writing is on the wall. You just have to look for the signs. Oh, look at this. Wow. Oh, with the press. No way. Get her up. Oh, fall away slam with both ladies with a kip up. Let's go. I like the Jade face paint. I do too, man. Like, everyone knows that she's strong, right? But it's also being smooth out there. And then obviously the next step is her to elevate her skills on the microphone, you know, if she wants to get to like the next level. Here we go. Nice double team move there by Bianca and Jade. I mean, if you're really looking at physicality, I don't think there's been ever a tag team as physical as these two. Oh, look at this. Wow. Nice double team move. Very ECW-like. Little kick. Double verticals. Nice. I like it. I like it. Like, what kind of genetics besides steroids to get that big? Like, that's an incredible genetics. You know, it's like you think of like the Romans back in the day, or like the movie 300. You think of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, like they would be like the female warriors out there with the men battling it out. I mean, they are built like great goddesses. Facts. Oh, into the turnbuckle there for Bianca. All right, now we're going to start to see it even out here a little bit, we would assume, with the other two teams beating up on them. Like, I'm trying to think of another tag team ever, female-wise, that could compete with these ladies. I mean, unless it was like Chyna and someone else that had a, you know, that type of physical, you know. Oh, nice high knee there. But I mean, how many other ladies are physically built like this? Maybe like a Chyna and like a Medusa or something from back in the day, but there's not many that are physically, you know, built like that. Yeah, I've listened to Bill Burr before. It's just crazy to go back to like the Diva era where you didn't really see a whole lot of athleticism besides Lita, you know, at the top rope. And then to see where these physical ladies are at now, they have taken wrestling to a whole nother level where instead of the ladies were, you know, maybe not even on the pay-per-view cards and very limited, you know, in the, you know, Raw and SmackDown scene. And then you're even seeing the ladies and the females main event, you know, big pay-per-views. They've come a long way. And it's awesome, man. Obviously, it's more than just being like a sex symbol, you know, for the females. Like, a lot of these ladies, you know, have some mic skills and they got some good physical attributes in the ring. They've come a long fucking way. Good to see. Jacqueline and Luna. That's a good one. Jacqueline and Luna, Jacqueline and Chyna. Then that would be like, wow, could you imagine that dream matchup? Jacqueline and Chyna wrestling currently today against those two. All right, here we go with the soccer chants. Zoe with the drop kick missile. Two. Jazzy. I like the Jacqueline Luna. That's a good one, man. Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young. Let's go. Ooh, nice super kick. Oh, nice. With a little kick there with the DDT. I like it. Here we go. Anytime you end up having a group of 6 of the dudes out there or the ladies, you already know there are going to be plenty of double team, triple team moves. Oh, here we go. High risk. Oh, that could have been bad. She almost slipped a little bit off the top. I always get nervous, when people go off the top wild like that. If you don't get enough momentum, you're going to land on your neck. All right, Alba Fire showing her athleticism at the top. 2. Nice job by Alba bringing that energy. We already know we're going to get it out of, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. It seemed like she was going for like a flying headbutt at first, or like she was going to do like a full 360, and then it was somewhere in between of doing a front flip and a headbutt, and it ended up being kind of halfway in between right there. Nice job, Alba Fire. Oh. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Appreciate you guys very, very much. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. I haven't even checked. It's already been an hour. I don't know how many we have in there. Hopefully we can get to 20 before the stream ends, since it's an early stream. But we're a little behind the 8 ball. But if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. But hopefully somewhere between 10 and 20, since most of the people that are watching this, are on Twitter/X. We got 41 people watching, and 3/4 of them are watching on Twitter/X. So maybe we can get a few of those to come through from the Twitter/X side to the YouTube channel side. And we will be doing the Rangers and Mariners game number 2 at 4 o'clock Pacific. Nice superplex there. Be a long day today. We're at 125 due to the gracious nature of Reefer and Zay. 75 to go to hit the secondary goal. Oh, she slipped. Oh, good strength. Oh, with the kick and the power bomb. And again, when you're going to be a Raw wrestler like that, coming in and you have that excitement, sometimes, especially if you're trying to be, top rope, you are going to sometimes make some mistakes right there. But she recovered quickly. The longer that you look at the crowd and you look kind of confused and embarrassed, that's the worst look for you. So to be able to come right out of the gates after the fuck up, before they chant you fucked up, go right back in it and just try to, recover as quickly as possible. Nice job by Jade Cargill, recognizing she fucked up and just, keep it moving. It happens. Now we got Shayna Baszler with the choke out, Sergeant Slaughter style. Yeah, good recovery. But again, she shouldn't be on the top rope in any scenario anyways. Oh! 450? Thought she was going to do a 450. She just did a little front flip. Oh! The strength from these two ladies is just ridiculous for Jade and for Bianca. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh. 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 Whoa. Yes, they won. And so now are we going to get the feud with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair since they lost? Are we going to get the feud now? Or are they going to still be champs? Or are they going to blame each other for losing? And then we're going to get the breakup now. And then we're going to get the feud for Jade and Bianca now moving forward. Wow. See, this is why WWE is king, because you've already had two surprises, right? AJ Styles, right before the steps came, the I Quit. I don't think anyone anticipated the match ending there. And how many people anticipated this? We were hoping for this, but we didn't really think it was going to happen. We were hoping that they would do this, right? Regardless if they have it for just one night and then they lose it back to Bianca and Jade, or if they have Bianca and Jade obviously stay together, for a little bit longer as a tag, or this is the breaking point where they're going to go against each other, turn on each other, and then end up having a one-on-one feud together for Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Jade saying, hey, I don't need you anymore. I can do it by myself. And then they can have their feud. So very interesting. Let the witches in, baby. And again, this is the complete opposite from the Vince McMahon era, because obviously if it was the Vince McMahon era, it would have been predictable and we would have already known what would have happened. So far, amazing start to this pay-per-view. Great finish. Awesome. I love it. Like, this was one of the most unpredictable finishes, and I think a lot of us, were thinking about it. We were hoping, but I don't think a lot of us thought that they would pull the trigger and actually let them win, regardless if it's only for a day and then they have a rematch on like Raw or SmackDown and then they end up losing it, and I don't know how long they're going to have it for, 1 day, 1 week until the next pay-per-view, a long-term run. I don't know, but very, very cool for them to, quote unquote, get their flowers, which they have physically in their hands. Awesome. Yeah. We'll have to see. I would assume, they're not going to have Piper win. So you already know Bayley, is a bigger face. I don't know if Piper has done enough to deserve the belt, right? So I think that you'll have Bayley retain. But the real question with Drew, is there going to be a run-in and a disqualification, right, by Judgment Day to prevent Drew from winning? Or is Drew going to get his moment in front of the fans, but you're not going to get Piper and Drew both winning? That would be the most shocking shit ever, right? Or maybe, or I don't know, like a lot of us are anticipating possibly Drew winning, but I don't know what they're going to do. There's a number of ways that it can go. But just that anticipation of just that wonder, like what is going to happen? Wow. Oh, interesting. That's extra meaning then, obviously, to get that. But I highly doubt, Piper is going to win. So now after that match, then I assume that we're going to go, are we going to go, probably not going to go back-to-back female matches. So I assume that to get the crowd on a different type of energy level, we're going to go here with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. As soon as Sami Zayn music hits, crowd goes nuts. Then we'll go here, Bayley retains, and then obviously, you either have Damian Priest retain with cheating and a run-in, or they give Drew his moment and his flowers in his homeland in Glasgow, Scotland. Yeah, I don't want to see CM Punk fucking either. Awesome, man. Great pay-per-view. It's like, with Triple H, they're like one step ahead, and this is exactly what fans that are diehards like us are looking for, not to be so fucking predictable and to surprise. That element of surprise of like, we know that at some point, Jade and Bianca were going to lose the belts, but did we really think it was going to be tonight? And then that gives you more of an incentive to keep watching Raw and SmackDown and NXT because you just don't know what's going to happen. Just like when WCW was running with the whole NWO angle and Eric Bischoff, you didn't really know what was going to happen. Looks like my prediction is correct. They're going to go here. We're going to go male, female, male, female, male. Good rotation here. And then for the Intercontinental Championship, are we going to have Chad Gable beat Sami Zayn so he can have his moment? Or are they going to have Sami retain and Chad will have to wait for another rematch at some point or another? See, this one's a little tricky. I could see this one going either way. Probably the most logical would be Sami. If Chad Gable wins, it would be shocking, just like what we got here. Like, we know Chad is going to have his moment, it feels like, at some point, but is it going to be tonight or is he going to have to wait? Exactly. I think you got to do the solid and you got to have Drew win tonight. But again, just that, element of surprise, or maybe, they have the Judgment Day run in, but it's still Drew will end up winning and he fights him off, and maybe Drew has some backup and someone comes in to, kind of take out some of the Judgment Day people running in late. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm definitely excited about it. Let's go. Any other photos that you guys want? Reefer, Zay, anything else you want? Let me know before we get into this next match. This one might be the most underrated match on the card. We already know that this one is going to bring the electricity. We knew this one was going to be good, but it ended up tearing down the house. But this one might end up stealing a little bit of the show based off style of wrestling, right? Chad Gable is the modern day Kurt Angle, based off wrestling style. And Sami might be the most underrated mid-card wrestler of all time. A guy that has great theme music, great microphone skills, great in-the-ring skills. A guy that never really got the full appreciation and push until the bloodline, got him in the storyline. And thank God that they did that, because, again, Sami would never be where he's at today without that bloodline integration with, Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, as well as Jimmy and Jay and the rest of them. Facts. Right. Exactly. I could see that too. Let's see what Drew McIntyre photos I can find. And if there's anything else that you guys want, let me know.
Just scan the QR code and enter promo code FLBOGO. Oh, I'm all over this deal. It only works on the other side of the screen, buddy. Chuck, you still got a landline in your house. Here, just take my free sub.
Drew deserves. I've always liked him too. And to me, I don't know what you guys think. I've always liked big guys in wrestling. I watch, Psycho Sid and Sid Vicious and, Kane and Undertaker, Kevin Nash. And I was always a big Kevin Nash and Undertaker guy. I love those guys a lot. But as far as modern day big men, right, that are good on the microphone and in the ring, Drew McIntyre is number one, and it's not even close. Like, if you look at his in-ring ability, he's up there with all the other big men, at the very, very top. But what separates him from all the other big men in wrestling, from TNA to Impact to NJPW to AEW to WWE, is his microphone skills are a 10 out of 10. And that elevates him above any other big man. And if you really think about it, he might be the best big man talker that we've ever seen. Kevin Nash, he was a talker, but, not as passionate as Drew McIntyre. Undertaker didn't really talk. You know what I mean? He was just kind of that phenom where, he had the theme music and he didn't really need to talk. He was the dead man, right? Dead man, they don't talk, right? But as far as Drew McIntyre is concerned, to get fired from WWE and to reinvent himself, pretty amazing. And I hope that they end up finishing the storyline like this at the end of the night. Alpha Academy, bye-bye. Let's go. I like Chad Gable a lot. It reminds me of Sami Zayn. It's almost like looking into a mirror. Guys that are super underrated, buried in mid-card hell, but at least like they're being able to have like IC championship dreams. And these are the type of guys that you would want to have the belt for the IC. They may not be heavyweights, but that doesn't matter. You can still appreciate guys that normally would not even get a second look, in the Vince McMahon era. You think Vince McMahon would show love to Sami Zayn, or with Chad Gable in the past? Fuck no. These guys would be buried in mid-card hell, getting fucking beat up by the upper tier, wrestlers in the back. So they love Sami's theme everywhere we go internationally because it has kind of a soccer vibe. Let's go, baby. Let's go. People love the chanting, you know, whether it's Sami Zayn or Seth Rollins, you know, when you have that type of theme, you know, people just love to participate and sing along. And I'm so happy for Sami because, again, you know, without, you know, the backing, you know, and understanding how good he is on the mic and in the ring and the passion that he has, you know, I always thought him and Kevin Owens were so amazing. Like, when are they going to have their fucking time? I'm sick and tired of them getting fucking buried. And luckily, you know, Kevin Owens still hasn't been able to have the belt, though. Like, Seth Rollins was buried. Sami was buried. You know, Kevin Owens was buried. And you got to think, for years and years and years to not have a belt around their waist, it was just disrespectful, you know, to wrestling fans. And it's just nice to be able to see at least 2 out of the 3. And hopefully Kevin Owens will have his moment at some point, you know, before he ends up getting too old out there. Oh, Massacre is coming. Do you see that? The Nightbird? So we started off the pay-per-view with Cody and AJ Styles. Then we ended up going with the tag team turmoil. We're here with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. Then we will go with Bayley and Piper Niven after this match, and they'll finish the pay-per-view off with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. Let's go. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. I don't know how this is going to play out because, again, we've already had 2 surprises in the first 2 matches. You know, I have a number of scenarios that are going through my head. Sami retaining, Chad Gable winning, you know, people interfering, you know, Chad and Otis, you know, good, bad, ugly, the turn. The crowd will be chanting in this one. That's a Sami effect, baby. I love it. I love seeing guys that are underappreciated to be able to get a little bit of love and have their moment. Here we go. Good physicality in the match to start off here. And again, they should have Chad Gable doing more promos as a heel, you know, and maybe they will if he ends up getting the belt. You know, I need to see the evil come out. The shitty thing is like, I don't want Sami to lose the belt for Chad to have his moment, but that's what we're going to have at some point, it seems like. Let's go. That's the difference between this crowd and the France crowd. The France crowd would have never stopped. It just nonstop insanity for 3 hours. But the crowd has gotten better, you know, and once Cody came out, you know, they were a little flat and probably hung over, but after they got into the ring, then they started kind of hyping up.
He wants Otis and Maxine to get involved in these matches. When you got Sami Zayn planting seed with the tension and for a given turn, of course there's going to be some problems within the academy. Gable should be able to count on the support of Maxine and Otis, but instead, Sami's trying to drive wedges because that's what Sami does best.
Little wrist lock for Sami Zayn on Chad Gable. No, we want Otis. He's like, they know me. He said, me? Here we go. This kind of reminds me of like an ECW type of start. You know, RVD usually would start a match very similar to that type of style. I've got some bad news. Bad news, Barrett. Ole, ole, ole. Ole. Into the ropes. I feel the most logical outcome will be Sami retaining. I think it would be shocking if Gable wins, but we'll find out. Like maybe Chad Gable will win at some point, but I'm not sure if I feel it tonight after the first two surprises that we've already had. But again, we are in the night of surprises so far. So will they go 3 for 3 and have Gable win? We'll find out. Has Chad Gable done enough, though, on a regular TV to earn it at this point? Oh, Sami showed that athleticism. Or does Chad need to do a little bit more before he gets the belt? If that's the direction that they're going to go. Has he paid enough dues up to this point to get the belt? Never really has ever had a belt. So never really been, on the main card like this. Otis. Now that's a man, brother. I like their beards. Beard boys. I would drink beers with them. That would be fun. Really? You think so, Reefer? At this point, based on all the work on, when you have shows like Raw and SmackDown and NXT and, putting in the work week in and week out. It would be like a coming out party for Gable, all that hard work, all the blood, sweat, and tears, all of that, sacrifice to finally get rewarded, even though the fans would boo probably because they want Sami to win. But it would be very cool to see, Gable have his moment tonight. Oh, what would make you happy? Submit. Are you happy? Nightbird. Type in Nightbird. I just typed it in, Odin. Says there you are. Thanks for sending that, Odin. Interesting. I love the extra stuff that WWE sprinkles in, like that. Very cool. Nice arm lock there by Gable. I typed in Nightbird and it loaded, but I don't know if you can just type in anything. Guy there in the black in the second row, he's living his best life. Nice elbow. Another one. So if Chad Gable wins the belt tonight, who is his feud going to be with next? Is it still going to be with Sami, or who would he be, going against after this? Oh, baby. Two, three. Oh, nice slap. And obviously, Gable will get more love and pub with a belt around his waist. Sometimes that's what it takes, to be able to be viewed as a different type of wrestler. And once you have that gold around your waist. Yeah. Yeah, Shorty G was fucking stupid. That's what I was thinking. Keep the feud going, Ole, ole. Sami's like, I needed more momentum right there. Right on his neck. He hung him up there for a second. Yes! Sami, you're a god. That's what I'm talking about. Give me some of that RVD action, baby. Nice job, Sami. I just love seeing the innovation, doing things that you normally don't see that often, or moves that you haven't seen maybe since the ECW RVD era. Two. WWE selling out with the prime on the turnbuckle on the top and then the bottom turnbuckle. All about money and promotion and cross promotion. Nice back elbow by Sami. Gable, a two of his own. Into the ropes. Two. Nice Michinoku driver there by Sami. You can tell they're getting a little tired. Has how many belts has Gable had in his career? I mean, excluding like tag team, belts or opportunities, has he ever had a singles belt in his career? Obviously not heavyweight, and now he's got a chance for the IC. But this has got to be the biggest opportunity that Gable has had in his career. Nice power bomb by Chad. Gable bomb. Flying headbutt. 1, 2, 2. Just the tag team belt. That's what I was thinking. How long has Sami Zayn had the belt for? How many months? Not long. I mean, Gunther had it forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And then that's what we're going to get next. Then if Drew wins, Drew McIntyre versus Gunther for the title, for the world title. We would assume that's the natural progression of things once you give up the Intercontinental belt for, years and years and years, and then you're going to move up to the heavyweight, right? Nice standing switch. Reversal, reversal, reversal. Here we go. Reversal, reversal, reversal. Here we go. Here we go. Oh! 2. Lauren in the building. What's good? I've watched so many shows and pay-per-views, but how many months has it been since Mania? A couple, right? How you doing, Lauren? You ready for Rangers Mariners game number 2? Once this is over, I'll have about an hour and a half break. And then I already made a thumbnail for the game last night because I already knew that, it'd be a busy day today. And then I'll go take Paisley for a walk, eat some lunch. And then we'll be back at it at 4 o'clock for the Rangers and Mariners game number 2. Super excited for that. April. Nice forearm smash by Gable. Yeah, there we go, Sami. There we go at it. There we go. Nice. Nice crossface. And if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. I assume we're only going to get like 10 or 15 likes because only a quarter of the people that are watching are on the YouTube side and 3/4 of the people are watching on Twitter/X. So anyone that's watching on the YouTube side, do your boy a solid and like the stream. And hopefully we can get to 10 to 15 before the stream ends. Nice ankle lock there. Very Kurt Angle-esque. Alpha Academy in business. Shut the hell up. And then we'll be doing that Mariners-Rangers game at 4 to 7, 4:15 start. I'll start around 4:05. And then no stream tomorrow for Father's Day. I'll be hanging out with Paisley Pup and my dad and Lucas. And then we'll be back at it on Monday. Good counter. Roll up. 1, 2, 2. Gable has to be wondering, what do I need to do to put Sami Zayn away? The blows. Nice punches, very clean. Gable is still in complete control. He just nodded to Otis. Jay's up 2-0 on the Guardians. Nice. That's a good series. Tough. Guardians are very good. What have they been saying in Canada, Lauren, about Bo Bichette and Vlad Jr.? Are they definitely going to be moving on from both of those guys, or is it still just kind of rumor? What are they saying in Canada about the Blue Jays? Are they going to be ultimate sellers during the trade deadline? Or is it just hype? Maxine is there. Vlad to the Cubs. Well, Cubs need it because the Brew Crew is dominating that division. So if the Cubs want to get back in the mix and be in the wild card, they have to make a move. I like Imanaga a lot. He's a stud, but that's interesting. Sami hulking up. Haluva kick. Oh, baby. Oh, with the bridge. Two. What execution with the bridge. Very Kurt Angle-like. Let's go. Gable. That was sweet. Vogelback. Yeah. Us Mariner fans, they're like, oh, what about Vogelback, Mike Ford? Yeah, we need hitters, but I don't think we need hitters like that. I would rather, go for someone else, but you never know what Seattle might be thinking. He said, my name Otis. Don't touch Maxine. I'll eat you for dinner, boy. Oh! That was close. Wake up, Otis. Uh-oh, Gable. Oh, baby, high risk. For a guy as muscular as Chad Gable, you don't really look at him and think high risk off the top rope like that necessarily. Oh, here we go. Love his athleticism. Like normally when I think of Gable, I think of like suplexes with bridges and crazy shit like that. But obviously adding that to his repertoire over the years is very good. Here we go. Sami looking for a haluva. Haluva kick. I feel Otis might cost him the belt too. That's the kind of the feeling that we might have, but you never know. But my instincts it feels more like Sami's going to retain here and not Gable getting the belt. But again, are we going to have 3 surprises in a row? 4 out of 5 by the time the night ends? Oh, look at this. Nice ankle lock right there on the barrier. Like it. Otis, he's like, I'm going to eliminate you. The perfect plex. Oh, my God. Top notch, dude. Make him pay, Otis.
Meanwhile, Gable is distracting the official, hoping that Otis does some more damage to Sami Zayn. Otis is conflicting here. Gable begging Otis to do something. Do the right thing, Otis. And Otis coming to the aid of Cody, getting her out of harm's way. Chivalry isn't dead.
Here we go. Distraction set in place. Oh, haluva kick. This might be over. 1, 2. There it is. Reefer, he's on it. And, at the beginning of the match, it kind of felt like Chad might have a chance. But then as the match kind of went along, it just felt like, if you're looking at the back and forth of the wrestling psychology, it kind of felt that it was leaning more towards Sami there towards the end. And Sami retains. Otis did not end up turning, and Sami retains. But it's always that, element of surprise, like especially when you have the matches, you kind of have a feeling of what you're rooting for, what you hope is going to happen. And, you go back to the Vince McMahon era where they made it very predictable. The Triple H era is very unpredictable. And Chad Gable, it seems like he'll end up having the belt, you would think, at some point, instead of just being a guy contending for it. Oh, look at that superplex. But just not tonight. But you also got to think about how long, Sami has worked to be able to get a belt, and, being able to be in the bloodline storyline and whatnot, and, to get the belt from, from Gunther, right? It's like Sami deserves to have his own run as well. Like, you don't want to treat him like he's nothing, he worked very hard, in the bloodline and just being mid-card, for so long. He deserves to have a little bit of a time with the belt as well for his legacy. So and Sami will always hold the belt better than Chad Gable, I feel. Chad has been getting better and better and better, but I don't think Chad Gable will ever be on the Sami Zayn level. So if that being said, let Sami have his flowers, for however long, and then, let him have that a part of his legacy, and then, when the time is right, then they can move it along to the next individual for them to have their moment, but it's just not today. Next match on the card, Bayley and Piper Niven. Got 2 more matches left. And the main event, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. So we're going to leave the 2 individuals from this particular region, and Piper Niven and with Drew McIntyre left on the card. I think it's a lot easier to be wrong in WWE nowadays with Triple H taking over, because you just don't really know what direction they're going to go. The obvious, outcome, or are they going to surprise everyone? And I feel like in the Vince McMahon era, he did what he wanted. He didn't give a shit about the fans. He didn't give a shit about, others. He wanted to do it based on his vision of WWE, and with Triple H, I feel like, they are tuned in a little bit more to like what the fans are anticipating and giving the fans what they want. Not all the time, but some of the time, and also giving you that element of surprise. And that's why they're number 1 now. Are you ready? Yes, I am. SummerSlam, Minneapolis. All right, I need to get my drink here. I'll be back here in just 1 second.
Tickets are available via SeatGeek. But right now, let's send it backstage to Kathy Kelly.
Corey, I'm very excited for Cleveland, but right now I'm here with Scotland's own and new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Saw you guys getting emotional out there after that win. Seems like a career highlight here tonight in Glasgow. What does this moment mean for you?
Honestly, it means so much. But we said we were showing up to you tonight and winning those titles, and that's exactly what we did. Shayna and Zoe, Jade and Bianca, they had absolutely zero chance of beating us when we had all of Scotland behind us. She says all of Scotland, she means all of Scotland, and there was no way we were letting every one of them down. I think we'll be keeping these for a while.
Well, thank you guys so much. Congratulations again. I heard the WWE Universe out there that they are behind you guys as well. I'm going to send it back out to Michael Cole.
Thanks, Kathy. Nonetheless, the Scotland fans got to cheer for the new tag team champions. It could happen again in our next matchup, because the WWE Women's Championship is on the line. They're Bayley defending against this woman from Scotland, Piper Niven.
WWE Women's Championship next on the line, baby. Had to check up on Paisley Pup. She's napping on the couch, all snug as a bug in her little blanket.
I've been digging and clawing my way out of the trenches and putting Scottish wrestling on the map.
She's incredibly talented athlete. She's dangerous.
Oh, here she just came in. She heard me. Hi.
Let them know you were here. That's what I'm gonna do tonight. And that's what you're gonna do tonight.
On the ever clever Bailey, a fight to retain the WWE Women's Championship against the Scottish
Are you sleepy?
Piper Niven in her motherland after this break. For subscribers of Peacock Premium Plus, let's get an inside look at the vicious trials that have brought Bailey to this matchup.
Oh. Our helicopter went down. You saved my life. The job is to be there for your patients. The first one they see when you get here, and the last when they go home.
NBC's Chicago Live, streaming now on Peacock.
Ooh, fun.
Missed you.
Yikes. The leaky refrigerator coil pod. Is that bad? Oh, Dad? Of an AC fan motor. Oh no. But your future is bright with an American Home
Are you
Shield
sleeping?
warranty to protect your covered appliances and home systems. Are there bees behind me?
My bees escaped.
They know we talked about this. American Home Shield. Don't worry, bee warranty.
Right now, you get a free footlong at Subway. Just buy any footlong in the app and get one free. Like the Titan Turkey, piled high with fresh sliced turkey.
Missed that.
Or the Outlaw with juicy steak and melted pepper jack cheese. Just scan the QR code and get a promo code FLBOGO.
Oh, I'm all over this deal.
It only works on the other side of the screen, buddy.
Chuck, you still got a landline at your house.
Here, just take my free sub. Order now on the Subway app.
You have singular talent.
Go live.
It's called selling.
All engines running.
How are we supposed to get to them? Every day something is breaking.
We need a new road.
It's the moon.
All our bad ideas, this is the worst.
The president loves it. Now, it's a great idea. This just looks like a dirty beach.
I don't believe it.
Oh, I think we should have gotten Cooper.
Fly me to the moon. Rated PG-13.
Well, what's that, Grandpa?
Look at us, knuckleheads.
And they're all coming?
We're still with us. Yes.
You can lay down here. Want to lay down in here? You can lay down over here. You want to lay down? You can lay down on the couch. Go lay down on the couch or lay down in here. Take whatever you want to do. Okay.
Light them up.
It's a beautiful day to fly.
Love you. You want to lay down here or do you want to lay down on the couch? You can lay down over here. Okay. Paisley says, woof woof. Hello.
Ibirogast, indigestion, Ibirogast, bloating, Ibirogast. Thanks to a unique combination of herbs, Ibirogast helps relieve 6 digestive symptoms to help you feel better. 6 digestive symptoms, the power of nature. Ibirogast.
Good girl. All right, Paisley's in here laying down.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on a new vehicle.
Next up on the card, Piper Niven versus Bailey. 2 matches left. And I like that they only had 5 matches on the card and ended up, going extra long with that first match with Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. Instead of just having a couple extra filler matches that Vince would have had, that would have brought the overall number of the pay-per-view down. So Paisley says, hi, Odin. Hi, Sarah. I got her all snuggled up in here. Usually after a couple hours of laying down on the couch. She'll come in and she'll miss dad. So
Chelsea Green has bubbled herself off. Tonight is all about this woman's attack. It's been a long and storied career here in Europe, and tonight leads to be the crowning moment of glory for Cody. WWE 2K24, highest rated sports game of the year, is now 34% off for a limited time. And on June 26th, music icon Post Malone joins the DLC roster with Post Malone and friends. Roster over 200 superstars and legends, spanning across all eras of WWE. Pick up your copy today and start your
Peter in the building. What's good?
Hyperdivision, hoping to start her legacy tonight. The woman who began her career in Scotland as Viper.
Here comes Bailey.
Happy birthday to the WWE Women's Champion, Bailey.
Bailey's birthday today.
Michael Cole.
I feel like with Bailey, her title run, it's not appreciated. Kind of like with Liv Morgan, you know, like they are like mid card, you know, for like the females compared to like the upper echelon. And like the one that they should have actually gave the flowers to back in the day was Asuka, and they kept, you know, kind of looking past her. You know, it's like you had the Bianca Belair, you know, you had the Charlotte Flair, you know, you have all these ladies. Sasha Banks had her moment before, you know, her going obviously off to AEW. And it's not like, you know, Becky Lynch had her moment, you know, but I feel like once you go past the top, you know, we're going to have Tiffy time at some point, you know, being the new Charlotte Flair. But I feel that the fans are not connecting to Liv Morgan when she was champ. Like they cheered for her initially, but then they turned on her like a month later. And then with Bailey, I feel that the diehards appreciate the hard work that she put in to get here. But I feel like as far as the casual fan, they could care less if Bailey is champ or not. Like, I don't feel like the fans are engaged with her and the title run, which is kind of sad because you work so hard to become champ and then to have the fans really not care. That's got to be a little soul crushing. You know, at the end of the day, you have the belt and that's all that fucking matters. You know yourself that, hey, I'm the man or I'm the woman. I did this. But it's always nice to be able to have people like cheer for you, you know, to understand that, you know, it's not just popularity, but, you know, that they understand like what you've been through in your journey. But I feel like they don't give a shit about Bailey. Yeah, Bailey is a better heel, but
And her opponent from
it's nice to be able to go from Lillian Garcia to what we have now.
Hyperdivision is a trailblazer in Scottish women's wrestling. As a teenager, she kept the
And I imagine the crowd should be extra, you know, loud, obviously, for these last two matches, just based on having hometown heroes from Scotland, you know, participating. And you might need that for this particular match. Hopefully they make it fast-paced, and hopefully it ends up not being a snooze fest. But again, having, you know, someone that's from there, you know, should be able to lift the match up an extra point or two. You know, we'll see what kind of style of wrestling that we're going to have out of these two. Right. Oh, man. Bloodline versus Bloodline. Yeah, dude. Can you imagine? Like, you know, all the wheels are spinning in the head, you know, based on, you know, Triple H and everybody in the back for sure. The only thing that kind of concerns me about this match is the style of wrestling that you're going to get out of these two. Two drastically different types of style. And sometimes when you have clashing styles, it doesn't work out. Like, when you have, people like AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes, it blends very well together based off their style. And sometimes if you have one type of style going against the next, then they're going to have to put in extra effort, or there's going to have to be a gimmick to the match to take it to the next level. Not everyone is going to be able to adapt. We'll see if that happens here tonight.
And Bailey, a couple of forearms to Piper, who came out and stepped between Bailey and Chelsea Green. Headbutt now by Piper. More attrition is only going to be one winner.
Shows you how important it is to be like a good talker, and have a connection with the fans.
Chelsea showing this, especially after she inserted herself in this matchup. Yeah, whatever. Bailey. Nice shot by Piper. And Piper sends Bailey back to the middle of the ring. Look down for that running splash and that cross body. And Bailey able to move out of harm's way, and now Bailey fighting back. Now listen, Bailey's used to battling powerful women. I mean, she had an unbelievable feud with Bianca Belair.
It was like you're reading my mind.
That's not quite what
It's exactly what I was thinking.
I'll take nothing away from Bailey, but this might be the biggest. Oh! Charles was checking on Piper. Oh, that's not good.
Chelsea Green talking to Little Nate. He said, "You're out of here." We'll see if she comes back right before the match ends. She'll be back. You would assume that she'll come back towards the end of the match. I would highly doubt that she's going to be gone from the whole match. She's a big part of the character and whatnot, Or maybe she comes through the crowd or something late in the match or comes back. So that's kind of sad when Chelsea Green is more entertaining than the people that are actually wrestling in the ring. That's when you know you have a problem. So this match kind of feels like more of a filler match than actually like a title match. Let's go, Piper. Show me something. There we go. I was waiting for something. Okay, give me something to get it going. Here we go. Nice job, Piper. Way to show the high-flying ability that most girls, based off that type of frame, would never attempt a move like that. Nice job. Nice athleticism. Nice job, Piper. Two. Is Bailey like the most boring women's world champ? I feel bad for her, honestly. I know how hard she has worked, to get to this point. And I don't think she's necessarily a terrible wrestler, but I could just think of maybe 10 other females that I would rather watch in the ring at champ than her. No disrespect to Bailey. It's just, I'm not really, she doesn't do it for me. It's she doesn't really engage with the fans. Obviously when she was, the hugger, obviously had more of the vibe there. And typically you take your career to the next level, when you go heel, but she's not a very good talker on the mic though. So that's what, the persona is good, but again, it's just like, I'm not sure if the fan base cares. And that's the thing. The crowd is like right now sleeping, going to the bathroom, eating. I feel bad for these ladies. Like you got to get loud at least get loud for Piper being there, being from Scotland. Yeah, but Bayley don't do it for me, man. Like even Becky Lynch, she's kind of robotic and not really the most athletic, and there's a lot of ladies that, I like the high flying style, with like a Charlotte Flair or a Bianca Belair. Asuka is one of my favorites and whatnot. But there we go. Finally, the crowd woke up. It's like, how long are you going to go by being silent there? Like at least cheer for Piper at the very least. Make her feel welcome being there and, being in this match. 2. Even Paisley fell asleep. She said, Dad, wake me up for Drew McIntyre. Okay. Come on, Piper. Show me something. Oh, here we go. Good counter there by Bayley. Piper out of the ring. Nice suicide dive there by Bayley.
Crucial move of the entire match thus far for Piper Niven. Just when the tables looked like they were turning, that's when a challenger, a less experienced individual, could panic. No panic.
I wish they never would have kicked out Chelsea Green there. Should have kept her with her antics on the outside, especially with these two ladies in the ring. Like that extra element. Like that definitely hurt the match by having her not around. Hopefully we see her run in, late. That would be crazy. Nice move by Bayley there. Come on, Piper. Show me a counter. Bayley at the top rope. Because eventually you got to think with WWE, they know how hard Bayley has worked to get to this point. But if she has no crowd pop, eventually the belt is gone, 2. Or just like when Liv Morgan, everyone cheered when she finally won. But then about a couple of weeks after that, on like, Raw, SmackDown, they booed her. And then she didn't have the belt that much longer after that. So, sometimes it's going to be based off your physical, accolades and going through all of the things and the grind, but again, it's all about the connectivity with the audience as well. It's like, I don't see Bayley having the belt for a long-term run. Like the most disengaged champion that we've seen in a long time. 2. Yes. Yeah, we got to have Drew winning tonight. I mean, the only, like I said, Sami retained. So if Chad Gable would have won, that would have been a surprise. But I mean, 5 matches, 5 surprises. So we've had 2 surprises. One obviously, champ that retained and Sami. And then, it all depends if they want to have the hometown heroes win these last 2 matches, and then you'd have 4 surprises out of 5. We're probably going to have 3, but are we going to have 4? That's the real question. Probably not. But you never know in this Triple H era. That's what makes it exciting. You don't really know what's going to happen. And that's what makes it exciting instead of the Vince McMahon era where it was all predictable. Bayley to Belly, Belly to Bayley. There we go. Here we go. I knew she would be back. Who is that wrestler? Who is that? Who is this? I don't know who this is. We have a new lucha wrestler I've never seen before. 2. Dude, who is that? She is so good, man. Reefer. So good, dude.
Here we go. Looking for the Rhodes play. Piper.
Nice counter. There we go, Piper. Yes. 1, 2, 2. Nice Piper driver. Come on, Piper.
This is brutal. Oh my God. I don't know if the base of Bailey's skull or the top of her neck. Either way, Niven drove it right into the cage. Frustration started his session to the challenger. She had Bailey there.
Let's go. Come on, Piper.
I respect this strategy by Niven.
Oh, shit. Damn, that looked a little stiff. I got her on the upper chest and stomach. That looked a little stiffer than it was supposed to be. Oh, there we go. Chelsea Luchador. Luchador Loco. Now it's starting to pick up the pace a little bit, but again, you have to have different elements. And again, I wish they would have never kicked out Chelsea, but again, I knew she would come back. You're not going to have her not come back at all. That would be doing a disservice to the fans and us watching on TV. But you can definitely tell, crowd isn't as interested as the others. There we go. Nice headbutt. Yes. Oh. And there we go. Bailey retains. So we're going to have 3 belt changes, 3 surprises, and then 2 champs retaining. I mean, I think 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 would have been even too much for Triple H. So, plus probably disrespectful to Bailey after, working so hard to be the champ and then to drop it, But again, it all depends on, what they feel is best for the business, even though they know how hard she's worked. Yeah, Bailey losing on her birthday. That would be a bad birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, but you're going to lose the belt. Fuck. Who is that luchador?
Watching it in replay just as painful as the first several times. But Bailey somehow, some way, was able to fight through, utilize Piper's own momentum against her.
I like the finish, though. Kind of a unique, pin there at the very end. The finishes have definitely been unpredictable, based on how the matches are ending. Not what I think most people would have predicted that match to end. Same way with AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes with the I Quit. So that element of surprise, we all wanted maybe the hometown hero to get it. But again, sometimes you can't get what you want all the time.
Exclusively on X, WWE, like you've never seen before.
And here we go. Main event. Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. You know Judgment Day is going to be interfering. And we'll see what happens here. Hopefully Drew has his moment, you know. And then we can get Drew McIntyre versus Gunther as the new feud.
Cody Rhodes, Liv Morgan, Jey Uso, Rhea Ripley, Hulk Hogan, and the wise man Paul Heyman and more on Saturday.
Really?
Sunday, August 18th. Get your tickets for the ultimate event for all sports fans, collectors, at fanaticspace.com. The Open Championship is golf's most historic major, hitting the very best against nature in its unforgiving force. Now, it's going to take place this year just down the road from Glasgow, and tested characters as Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and the biggest stars in golf take on the elements, winds, the sea, rain, dunes, bunkers, and the rock. The Open takes place right here in Scotland at Royal Troon. Watch the drama in full, July 18th and 21st on NBC, USA, and Peacock. Scotty Scheffler's buddy from 30 Gone yet?
While joining this castle is a national hero. It's Glasgow's brother, Tom Stoltman, the three-time reigning world strongest.
Albatross.
He's the only man in Scotland who can make Drew McIntyre look small. World's strongest man, Tom Stoltman. Welcome to WWE Clash at the Castle.
Wait, you should see what the world's strongest man's doing after Clash at the Castle. He'll be hanging out with me at Graves because Wade Barrett, you've got to head back to the Clash at the Castle post show. Wait a minute, am I doing the post show?
Love it. Switcheroo.
Important there though. So who's doing
far better post show than I
so who's doing the post show? You and I were putting it out of here. That one going by myself.
Go to the ball now. Corey's doing my job for me. Thank you, Corey. You're a good lad.
I stayed late last night because of you.
That's politics.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the next fact can come your way for a premium live event. We are in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It is Money in the Bank, where you take your future into your own hands. Boo-boo. The opportunity of a lifetime. Money in the Bank. Inside a contract, guaranteed championship opportunity, which will change lives forever.
Get ready for the summer's ultimate heist.
Yeah, never were able to do that in the past with with Vince McMahon in everyone's ear, telling Michael Cole and Pat McAfee word for word what to say, how to say it, this type of tone. Nice to be able to have it be professional, but also a little laid back and have fun with it, and that's what wrestling is supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be super serious all the time. You're going to want to be able to laugh a little bit and have fun with it, And again, there's going to be times where shit is serious, and there's going to be times where you can have a little bit of fun with it. I totally agree. Ooh, Money in the Bank qualifying matches on Raw. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Still need one more to get to double digits. Hopefully we can get at least one more to do that. But even though the numbers on that end, more people watching on Twitter/X, we've had a successful day because of Zay and Reefer to make sure that I can get, bills paid. And I really, really appreciate that because I was getting a little worried and whatnot. And it's not like I've been lazy and taking a bunch of time off. I've been grinding every single day. So thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. And then I know we're going to end up getting the likes and the subs and the views, obviously, when we end up doing the Mariners and the Rangers here at 4 o'clock. So it'll, we'll be able to get that uptick there. So not worried. This is one of the better matches that I've seen in the last year or so. This one definitely lived up to the billing and exceeded all expectations. The champ's dropping the belt. Who would have thought? Sami Zayn, Chad Gable. It's always good when you have matchups where you don't really know what's going to happen. Sami retains. Bayley retains. And are we going to have another belt change? Hope so. Don't do Drew dirty in his own, and if they're going to have him lose, eventually he's going to have to win. If you're not going to do it in front of the home fans, when are you going to do it? I mean, this is the best big man wrestler and talker on the mic maybe ever. Like, who's been a better talker than him as a big man? I'm trying to think. I'm a big fan of Kevin Nash, Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Kane and Undertaker. But if we're talking about mic skills, who's got better mic skills than a big guy than Drew McIntyre? I can't think of too many that are on his level. And what he does in the ring, physically gifted, great on the microphone, deserves to have the gold around his waist at some point or another. And then obviously with Damian Priest and Judgment Day, when you end up, cashing in, right? Maybe not the best on the microphone and not best in the ring, but I do love Judgment Day and one of my favorite factions that currently is on TV. Yeah. I've got some bad news. It's great to have him in the company still, for sure.
To help protect from HIV, I prep with Apretude, a prescription medicine used to reduce the risk of HIV without daily PrEP pills. With one shot every other month, just 6 times a year. In studies, Apretude was proven superior to a daily PrEP pill in reducing the risk of HIV. You must be HIV negative to receive Apretude and get tested before each injection. If you think you were exposed to HIV or have flu-like symptoms, tell your doctor right away. Apretude does not prevent other sexually transmitted infections. Practice safer sex to reduce your risk. Don't take Apretude if you're allergic to it or taking certain medicines as they may interact. Tell your doctor if you've had liver or kidney problems or mental health concerns. If you have a rash or other allergic reactions, stop Apretude and get medical help right away. Serious side effects include allergic reactions, liver problems, and depression. Some of the most common side effects include injection site reactions and headache. You must receive Apretude as scheduled. Ask your doctor about long-acting Apretude and PrEP without pills. Save at Apretude.com.
Oh, look at this. Oh, Drew's got to win. Drew's got to win now. I mean, this was something that, like I said, Drew ended up winning during COVID with no fans. Let's make it special for him. Regardless if he has the belt for only a night or he has a long-term run. Here we go. Way to bring it out with the bagpipes. I love it. Very cool that they're going all out for Drew here. Vader. Yeah, I was a big fan of Vader. Bam Bam Bigelow, another, kind of bigger frame wrestler. I really like those type of wrestlers from back in the day. I mean, you don't really see too many, athletes like that, like Bam Bam Bigelow and Vader back in the day. A lot of people didn't really realize how athletic and gifted that those two guys were. And those are two of my favorites of all time from like back in the day, Bam Bam Bigelow and Vader. That's a good one. Yeah. I got my Roddy Piper figure over in the corner here. All my wrestling figures from back in the day in the 80s and 90s. Here we go, baby. And here we go. It's main event time at Clash at the Castle, Glasgow, Scotland. Drew McIntyre. Let's go. Yes, sir. But as far as like on the microphone, you know, Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow, you know, Kevin Nash, Undertaker, Kane, Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious. No one comes even close, in my opinion, on microphone skills, you know, heel, face, and just being spectacular. Ooh, look at that. Drew signing an auto. Dude, how awesome is that? Cody signing a couple autos, going to the ring, and that kid will remember that fucking forever on that piece of cardboard. I'd frame that shit. That shit is not on eBay. That will be in his fucking bedroom for life. How cool is that? I love it. And that takes it to a whole nother level. Now they're bringing up the decibel level here for this match. It's always cool to be able to give someone their proper flowers, but again, there's nobody better, in my opinion, ever as a big man on the microphone than Drew McIntyre, you know, back in the 80s, the 90s, or current. He's amazing, man, and that's why he deserves, you know, everything. You know, he got fired from WWE, had to come back and reinvent himself, and he really did. My favorite big man currently in wrestling by a million. I like Judgment Day a lot as the faction, but, you know, I like Dom the best in that group. You know, obviously, you know, still has a long ways to go, microphone skills and, you know, obviously in the ring, but just to be, you know, genuinely hated for being Rey Mysterio's son, you already are like a natural born heel. All you got to do is work on your mic skills and in the ring, and maybe one day we'll see Dom as a champion. Here we go. Let's go. Think about how special this is for Drew right now, too. You know, like no crowd, like COVID, nobody to be able to appreciate the championship except for himself. You know, everyone watching at home during COVID. And then now just to be able to be in your hometown, to be able to hear the crowd, that's got to be such an amazing feeling. Like emotional, man. You know, like I can only imagine what he's feeling right now. Awesome. Let's go. Yes, sir. And I love Mike's skills, man. Anyone can be a wrestler. Like I say all the time, anybody can wrestle. Anybody can be like Neville or even Ricochet, where you're like, oh my God, like their athleticism is like, you know, 11 out of 10. But again, if you can't talk on the mic, you will always be limited as a wrestler, period. Let's go. And I'll always be an Undertaker guy, and I always will be a Kevin Nash guy. But in this generation, I will always be a Drew McIntyre guy. Let's go. And how cool is it that it's in Scotland and not in America? You know, I mean, we could have, you know, had him in the United States somewhere, but he wouldn't be getting the same type of love and appreciation. So, I said, come on, you prick. And I love Judgment Day. I love the members. I love the vibe. Coolest faction that we have going today in wrestling. I love the colors. Too bad Ripley is injured. But again, this will be interesting to see how this all plays out. You definitely know there's going to be some type of cheating and run-in, you know, and we'll see at the end of the day, hopefully Drew McIntyre, because, you know, I can't see Drew not winning. Can you imagine being there and Drew not winning? The boos coming out at the end. You don't want to end the pay-per-view with boos, do you? And even if they were like, well, we're going to have him lose here, but he'll win on Raw or the next pay-per-view, it's not the same. He's got to win here. It's the only right thing to do for holding down the company, during COVID, period.
You can hear this. Is presented by Gin and Juice, a ready-to-drink cocktail like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, your premium spirit brand. Named after Snoop's iconic song, Gin and Juice, produced by Dr. Dre. Everybody's got their cups, they ain't shipped in. Well, these types of things happen all the time. Drew McIntyre in his career, Corey, twice has lost the championship, but someone has cashed in the Money in the Bank contract. The latest, of course, you mentioned WrestleMania.
Let's go. This is the picture I need to see. And the belt is much better than this one that he's wearing. Let's go. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Love you and appreciate you. And then again, after this ends in about 20 to 30 minutes, I'll have about a 2-hour break, and then I'll take care of Paisley, eat some lunch, and then go for another long 30 to 45-minute walk. And then we will be doing Rangers and Mariners game number 2, 4:15 to 7 o'clock tonight. Yeah, it feels a little weird without Roman and Seth and Ripley. I mean, a lot. I mean, if you go back and look at the roster and see how many people are injured right now, it's kind of a damn shame, but also it's a good opportunity to have others be able to have their moment. But obviously having Seth, and having Roman and having Ripley, it's like you need your stars to be there. But luckily WWE has enough of them where it's not hurting the brand like AEW. Tell him, Samantha. Let's go. I've never seen a female with that much intensity on the mic. I love it. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Love it. Sweet camera angles here. Let's go. This is the one that we've all been waiting for. Now the crowd, for whatever reason, hungover, tired, no excuses now. I need to hear a France type of crowd hear this whole match. Let's go. Let's finish this pay-per-view off on a right note. Let's go. Energy in the building is electric. Let's go.
Think about what this country of Scotland has meant to Drew McIntyre. Not only did he start his career here, but back in 2014, when he was fired by WWE, he came home to rebuild, to re-examine.
Great story, man. I mean, could you imagine if they never rehired him? The best big man on the microphone that we've seen in generations. But as long as you're a hard worker and you believe in yourself, you reinvent yourself, you can end up making a difference. And hopefully there's the right people that are in the business that can recognize your talent. Go, Drew. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. He landed on him square on that arm. That was sweet. Let's go. Yes, sir. Big chop. High risk. And how many guys are as big as Drew could actually do a move like that? You know, because like, could you ever imagine Sheamus, you know, doing a move like that? Or like Gunther? Hell no. Oh.
This is the guy who's won in the main event of WrestleMania. Pressure, throw it my way. Delivers a left hand.
How tall, someone needs to look this up. How tall is Damian Priest's height and weight? And how tall is Drew McIntyre height and weight? I'm curious. Just based on looking at the frames of them in the ring together. I have an idea in my head, but I will want to be able to see it from someone looking it up on like Google or whatever, like what the actual height and weight for both these wrestlers is. Oh, big chop by Drew. Ooh, nice punch there by Priest.
Right now, the world heavyweight champion looking to fight his way back into control.
2. 6'5", 249. Damn, Priest has got some size on him. And what about Drew? Because just looking at Priest on TV, he looks like 6'4" to 6'6". So being 6'5" sounds just right. And he doesn't have a frame where he looks like he weighs like 270, 300. So that makes sense.
World heavyweight champion Damian Priest. Priest now into the corner. Now Damian Priest starting to gain the upper hand.
6'5", 265. 2. Priest is a little bit stronger than he looks for his physicality. Not that he looks weak at all. He doesn't. You know, but again, sometimes he'll do a move that makes you say, whoa, like he's got that in him. Okay. But when you look at Damian Priest's frame compared to Drew McIntyre, Drew looks like he's got 20, 30 pounds on him. Oh! 2. Is it? I would assume there's some real rough places there. So Odin is saying, I'm not going there. Yeah, I mean, if you go back and look at old Drew photos before he got fired compared to what he looks now, I mean, he reinvented himself, mind, body, soul, like everything, you know, and microphone skills, in the ring skills, like everything. Like you almost can't even recognize the two individuals. They look like two separate wrestlers. It's a great story, man. I know. I love that too. Big outsiders guy. I'm a big Scott Hall, Kevin Nash guy. Like big. You know, if you're NWO, you're NWO for life, brother. I mean, I still rock my NWO stuff all the time. Still got the old school vintage satin jackets. I got a Wolfpack one. Oh, shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. That wasn't planned. Wow. Get him, Drew. Holy shit. Wow. That was not planned. And sometimes things that aren't planned end up turning amazing. He like landed on his head and got his foot stuck. That was like speculation like months ago, though, wasn't it?
Drew just said to Eddie Rango, I can't win the title like this. Drew realizes he's got to get Priest back inside the ropes.
All right, there we go. Wow. And normally when a move like that happens, it's like planned, right? You know, where you get your body stuck at a certain point, you know, and then they can end up having a particular move set to do after. But that shit was not planned, and it turned out pretty cool. Like one of the first times a fuck up ended up turning into like an asset into the match. Nice superplex there. Yeah, Priest is like, hurry up, get me out of here. But he kind of landed on his head and neck initially there. That was a little scary. Like right there, like Jesus Christ, man. Like luckily his body was hanging like over. That could have been really bad on his neck. He said, get me out. El Campeon. Oh, what a clothesline. Bradshaw-like. Holy cow. Jeez. Nice clothesline. That reminded me of Bradshaw. Everyone fucking died when they did that. It's like, oh, you're going to get Bradshaw class? A JBL? Oh, fuck no. Good counter there by Drew. Oh! 2. I was a little bit more concerned about his head and his neck, but it looked like based on where he landed, it landed outside of the apron, not directly down on the apron. Because if you would have went down on the apron, his neck could have got compressed right there a little bit. So kind of lucky that fuck up ended up being nothing to worry about. Landing his head outside of the apron barely with his foot dangling and stuck. But hey, you got to improvise, right? At some point or another. And, you know, it didn't slow down the match one bit. Into the ropes. Nice counter by Priest. Big boot to the face as Drew goes down and clutches his eye.
Sometimes you get hurt so bad you get up to walk it off. You don't feel it for a few seconds, and then reality sinks in.
Swelling takes a while to kick in. You know, that's why you hurt yourself immediately. Get a nice the champion's fired up. That Priest telling the Scottish crowd what he thinks about that here tonight. Questionable decision by the champion, making that risky climb with a bad wheel.
Big chop by Drew.
To the second rope, towering over the champion.
Oh, careful. You got two big guys there. You know, obviously, Priest selling it. Razor's Edge, baby. Nice. 2.
To his hero, but the leg could be the deciding factor in this matchup.
One-legged Razor's Edge. I feel his leg is fine. He's just selling it, you know, for the fact that, you know, the fuck up ended up being an injury.
know what he thinks of that. Watch this. In the middle of the ring.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, nice forearm shiver.
All of WWE and all of this industry that's trading rights in the center of the ring. A true heavyweight battle. Like we said,
Yeah, we'll find out, obviously, at the end of the show and tomorrow, you know, if there's a serious injury or not. But it didn't look serious. Like, I was more concerned about his head, you know, hitting the apron, you know, just getting your leg caught up. You know, it's not like he twisted it, you know, jumping from the top rope and, you know, something happened there. So just getting caught up in the ropes, I don't think you're going to, you know, have a serious injury from that particular thing happening. It was just kind of surprising. Because we know wrestlers love to sell moves, right? And what a better way to sell a move that was unexpected. Oh, shit. Yeah, and there's no way he's going to be able to do a move like that or like that if he, you know, if it's serious. There's no way you're going to limit yourself not jumping off your legs at all. So he's okay. Nice. Neck breaker.
both of these men are champions. Unfortunately, only one can hold the world heavyweight title. This has been a battle for the ages.
Poke up, Drew. Kip up. Channeling in his Ultimate Warrior. And Priest slides out. Good ring psychology there. Feeling the momentum, the Uncle Mo shifting. When are we going to get the Judgment Day run in? It's got to happen within the next probably 5 minutes. Oh, shit.
And you're realizing the magnitude, being judicious with his count.
Oh, my God. Are you for real? Let's go. Oh, they are? Oh, counter. Oh, what a choke slam. Good height by Priest. 2. Yeah, I don't want to see CM Punk either. Hell yeah. That was sweet. The Claymore was sweet. And that fucking height right there by Priest, and that obviously Drew helping out and bending his knees and jumping a little bit to get that extra height off that choke slam. Very cool. I don't want to have any distractions take away from these two individuals, you know? This is their moment. I don't need to see no fucking CM Punk. Priest, nice little chop to the chest as he puts Drew at the top rope. Another big slap to the chest. The prime on the turnbuckle is disgusting. I get it. You know, you want to use it on like the ring apron on the outside, but we should never be seeing a fucking other company sponsored on the fucking turnbuckles besides the W for WWE. Come on. Nice Hurricane Rana by Priest. Respect for a guy that's 6'5". Oh! Is it over? 1, 2.
Are you sure? And you can hear the breath come out of the
Oh, shit. 2. They could have ended it there for sure. That was very clean. Nice Hurricane Rana. Woo! That was clean. They could have ended it right there. A crowd would have fucking erupted. But sometimes you got to have that little element of surprise to, keep it going. And we got 5 minutes left before it goes, typically to time. So if we're not going to see any run-ins by Judgment Day, the ending should be here within the next 5 minutes. That was so close. Very clean on the Claymore, too. Right in the chin.
Both these men know they should be home and dry at this point of any match. Great blow by McIntyre. That was 6 man. How about the 11,391 men? And Drew McIntyre's corner tonight. And they're worth double when it's your hometown, Cole. Now McIntyre crawling his way across the ring.
Oh, big chop.
Rings through the elbow. We're getting to crunch time now.
Oh, there goes the ref. So now Judgment Day is going to come out. Yep. Oh, see. Now the ref is injured. Now where's Judgment Day? Nice powerbomb by Priest. Claymore. And no ref. Was it CM Punk? Of course it is. Boo! Of course it's CM Punk. Fucking Christ. Why do we have to have this, man? So what? They're going to have what? Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk, in the rivalry? Or we're going to have a triple threat CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Gunther? Boo. I get CM Punk's impact on wrestling, but I mean, I don't like that at all, man. Terrible. Big choke slam. Boo. Are you kidding me? So CM Punk comes in, and then you have Drew McIntyre again. You're not going to have him win in front of his home fans. How terrible is that? How disrespectful is that, man? And even if Drew ends up winning against Gunther and CM Punk in a triple threat in the United States or some other foreign place, it's not his hometown. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a wrestler get done so dirty. We're talking about the best big man on the mic and in the ring that got fired, right? Like CM Punk, but terrible ending. Terrible. This almost reminds me of like Vince McMahon. And then they're going to say, well, we have a reason of why that we did this. We have a reason, but I don't give a fuck what the reason was. Terrible ending, man. So disrespectful for Drew. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's just like Judgment Day running in and then him losing, like, unbelievable. Terrible way to end the pay-per-view. Terrible. And I love Judgment Day, and I like Damian Priest, but not as much as Drew. I mean, what are you going to do? Like have Triple H come out and say 5 more minutes and then bring out another ref? Like, what are we doing here? And we know that's not happening. That might have happened back in the day where they ended up, saying, no, we're restarting the match, 5 more minutes, and then having another ref come out. But unbelievable. I mean, I still enjoyed the pay-per-view, but that's like one of the shittiest endings in the Triple H era I've ever seen. How did they sign off for this? What, CM Punk has more pull and they think that he's got more fans and pull than actually like doing a guy, the right way instead of doing him dirty? Terrible. I mean, I get it if Piper didn't win, and I get it if Chad Gable didn't win, right? But this is how you want to end the pay-per-view? Unbelievable. And they're like, oh, it's going to spark the feud with Gunther and Drew and CM Punk. But no one cares. No one cares about CM Punk the same way from when he was wrestling back in the day. He's old news. He can't even wrestle anymore. The best thing about CM Punk nowadays is like some of the stuff that he can say on the microphone, but he's not even the same wrestler anymore. Terrible. And millions of fans across the globe. I feel bad for like Lenny D and a few of the people that ended up watching. They're going to watch the replay. They're going to, if they stay off social media, they're going to, you're going to have to now because this is going to be everything that everyone's talking about on the WWE circles. I don't think I've ever been more disappointed in an ending in my life. Again, if this wasn't in his hometown, then so be it. But just the fact that it's in Scotland, where he's from. Really? Really? And no scenario whatsoever is going to make up for this. Nothing. Oh, CM Punk. Oh, Gunther. Oh, he's going to get it here at, SummerSlam, WrestleMania. It's not the same if you're not in front of your hometown people. Ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. Normally, I guess that's the other element of surprise. They're like, oh, you want to be surprised? Well, yeah, I guess, but not like this. Unbelievable. Well, I got to go take Paisley for a walk, and then I'll be back for the Rangers and the Mariners, and I got to stew on this now for the next week or so. Thank you so much for everyone coming in for Clash at the Castle. Shout out to Reefer and Zay for coming up big. Yeah, Drew is the ultimate company man, but it's fucked, man. He deserved to win. And again, even if he gets the belt later, it's not the same if it's not there in Scotland. I mean, I think everyone agrees with that. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to Reefer, Odin, Sarah, Zay. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. I'll be live for the Rangers and Mariners in about 2 hours, and I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. I love you guys, and I appreciate you, and I'm out. Gang.